Have you ever wondered why you keep having the same kinds of relationships, falling for the same types of men, relationships that you don't want and men that you don't want to be with, but it keeps happening to you? This episode, I'm going to explain exactly what that's about, where it comes from, and more importantly, give you 5 strategies to help you move away from this and attract healthy, loving relationships instead. Welcome to Coached by Fiona, where we talk all things love after 40. Just before we get into the episode, please hit subscribe. It helps me grow my channel, reach more people, and ultimately keep doing what I love, which is to create content. Why does this happen? Why are people in these relationships, dating emotionally unavailable men, men that cheat, relationships that don't go anywhere, relationships that are unfulfilling? If people don't want these kind of relationships and they don't want to meet these kinds of men, why does it keep happening? I'm going to tell you exactly why. In life, we have patterns for everything. Everything that we do is patterns, from getting ready in the morning to our nighttime routine. They're all patterns. It's no different with our relationships. Relationship patterns are things that are familiar to us, behaviors that we repeat over and over again, regardless of whether we like or want the outcome that they create. So we could be doing things in relationships continually that are giving us negative or unhealthy outcomes, but for some reason we can't stop doing them. Why is that? Our relationship patterns come from our childhood. They come from our interaction, our early interaction with our parents or our primary caregivers. They are our first exposure to love, to what it feels like to receive love, to have love, or what we feel is normal when it comes to love. So as we grow older and we go into adult relationships, we carry this normality with us and we seek what is normal and what is familiar to us. Doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy, but it's familiar and it's safe. And so we're looking for what we experienced in our childhood. If we had emotionally unavailable parents, if we had controlling parents, if we came from an abusive background, if our childhood was chaotic, we seek what we're used to. And this relationship, this pattern continues and continues until we break that cycle. Another way that relationship patterns show up, unhealthy relationship patterns show up, is if we have unresolved trauma from our childhood that we've carried into our adulthood and we're trying to heal from it. And we're using our adult relationships to try and process that healing. So again, we've found, attracted, sought after something that is similar. But now what we're trying to do is we're trying to heal from what happened to us when we were a child. So for example, if we had parents that were quite dismissive or never really showed affection or love or attention, we were always trying to get their attention or seek their validation. We as adults could go into relationships with men that exhibit that same dismissive behavior, and we're constantly trying to vie for their love. It doesn't work and it doesn't change because the person that we've gone after is familiar and similar to the type of relationship dynamic we had as children. So what we're doing is we're constantly trying to get that love and get that validation. And so the patterns continue. So we don't want these patterns. They're not serving us well. They're not making us happy. So how do we get rid of them? I'm going to give you 5 things that you can work on to create change. So grab a pen, grab a bit of paper, and let's jump into this. The first thing is to really understand your patterns. You cannot make change if you don't understand what's happening. So you got to sit, and it can be uncomfortable. Sit in this space of what was my childhood like? How did I receive love? What kind of love did I have around me? What kind of relationships have I had? What kind of friendships do I have? How do I show up? How have they ended? What are the dynamics of the relationships that I've had? And really start to understand where there are similarities. Number two, the second strategy is to take that understanding and really build that awareness. Start journaling, start writing everything that you notice, situations that you have with people. How do you respond? How do you react? How do they treat you? What do you accept, not accept? What makes you feel? How do you feel in certain situations? Are you someone with boundaries? Are you someone with no boundaries? Do you have explosive relationships with people? Are you a giver? Are you somebody who gets taken advantage of? Start to really write everything down and notice everything so that you can become so aware of every single relationship dynamic that you have around you. The third tip is to then start creating new behaviors and to really create a toolkit around healthier behaviors and healthier dynamics with people. So it could be things like putting in place boundaries, better communication, so that when you are entering relationships with people, you're able to navigate them in a healthier way that you can take into your next relationship. And these things can be tiny. They could be so small. It could be something with a friend. It could be something with a work colleague. And we start off small and then build them up. The fourth tip that I'd love to give you is to get some help. It's difficult changing. It's difficult undoing relationship patterns that you've had from childhood that have gone through you your whole life. They're here to keep you safe. And sometimes it's easier to revert back to type, to revert back to what we're used to, because that's what's safe and familiar. That's why we have these patterns. By having a coach, a counselor, whoever it is that can help navigate you through this process, you're having somebody who really understands how to create lasting change. And that can be the difference between change happening and you trying to make change and not being able to kind of sustain that change long term. And the last tip I'd like to give you, number 5, is really be kind to yourself. Be patient, be loving, really focus on your well-being, because any change is hard. Change takes you out of your comfort zone. It makes you feel unsafe. It makes you do and go to places that are unfamiliar, and that can be very, very difficult. Understanding things that you've done, behaviors that you have that may not be behaviors that you like or behaviors that you accept that you wished you didn't accept can be a difficult space to be in. So make sure around this time that you're really focusing on your own well-being as well, so that you can navigate this process as safely as possible. I hope these tips have been helpful for you. I'd love to know your thoughts. Please comment below. Let me know if it was useful. Also, let me know other kinds of videos that would be helpful for you. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.